Hey, welcome to my weekly roundup. We're looking here at the Nasdaq. This thing is kind of weak. Actually, it's super weak. It's kind of sick. Some people might say this is like a little head and shoulders pattern where it topped out here, the head back last November, and then the shoulder here. I don't really subscribe to this theory, the head and shoulder pattern. I just say this is your first leg down after it tried to rally back up. Had this nice leg down and rallied up, could not get up to its 200, then sold off again to 555. So it made a new low there and then rallied back up once again, could not get back to its 200. Now it's going for its third leg down. Where it stops, nobody knows, but here's your little short-term support. Here's a little longer-term support, 12,397. That's, 1,000 points away. It could get there, 8%? It could get there, in a month or even less. And the longer term support here is below 11,000. So we'll be looking at that. So this third leg down, that's what I expect. I don't predict, that's just what I expect. Anything can happen in the market. The S&P is doing a little better. Let's check out the daily. It's sold off as well, but it rallied back up above its 50 and its 200 and now is sold off and below its 50. So it's doing a little better than the Nasdaq because it contains the energy, oil, and gas stocks. And that's pretty much why it's doing a little better than the Nasdaq. What propped up the Nasdaq? Remember last year, everybody was saying, oh, the FANG stocks are propping up the Nasdaq. It's the only reason why it was doing well. And that's pretty much true. But what's happened since is that they've all sold off here. Facebook has just been a disaster. These downtrending lines, moving averages tells you these stocks are in a downtrend. Netflix is one of our, FANG stocks, and this thing has been slaughtered. Yeah, you don't want to be swimming in this part of the pool, the shallow pool here. These are just downtrending stocks. Even Google, which is thought to be doing better. It's in this channel here, but it's below its 200. It's below its 50. The 50 is starting to curl down. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with any of these stocks. These are weak. They need a rest. They had a long run. Microsoft's in this little consolidation area, but it's sold off below its 50, below its 200. And you can see the 50s curling down. So no thanks. Nvidia, another one that was thought to be, the can't lose stock, but it's had a long run. So it needs a rest. And so that's what they're doing. You can look at the weekly here. You can see this long run. So, give it a break, let it rest. It's below the 200 and below the 50, and they're starting to curl down. So these are in downtrends. You got to stay away from them. Which one of these stocks is holding up well? The grade 8 that held up the Nasdaq last year. Tesla's doing okay because it's above its 50 and 200, and they're still trending higher. And of course, Apple stock is just below its 50 right here, but I'd still stay away from these. So if you're going to stay away from those stocks, where do you go? Well, I'm hearing a lot of people chattering about, oh, you can't buy breakouts. You can't buy breakouts. Well, bull pucky, you can buy breakouts here. Here's Devon broke out, and then it's just been a beast since its breakout here. Broke out last September and just, lower left to upper right. That's the kind of stock you want to be in. It's a grinder, just straight up. It's following its trends. Yeah, it pulls back to its 50 every now and again. Those are buy points. So Devon, yeah, buy these breakouts, oil and gas stocks right here. Chevron broke out right here, pulled back to its 50. Just been ripping higher. Now it's forming this little consolidation area. Needs to get through here. The volume's been a little light. It's got earnings coming up. But yeah, the oil and gas stocks are just, that's where you want to be. Here's Patterson. This is a driller, broke out. Yeah, who says you can't buy? This is how a lot of people like Darvis and O'Neill, that's how they made their money, buying breakouts. So this is what I look for is breakouts, but it's not the only way to trade. There's lots of ways to make money in the market. This one's tricky. I want to show this because I had a little fake breakout and then pulled back to its 50. Another breakout to 27, made a higher low, but came back to its 50. Then went higher again. So it's making higher highs and higher lows. Very volatile. Right here, it pulled back. This little bull wedge here down to the 21 and ripped higher again. So that's one that I'm definitely interested in. I do not own that one yet. And one that I do own that I bought on the breakout that I really, really like here is Comstock. Look at this breakout. Boom, just ripping higher. There's 6 areas that I like: oil and gas, mining, steel, fertilizers, coal, and drugs. I just showed you some of those oil stocks that I like. I'm going to get into the miners here. Alcoa and Tech and BHP, these ones are strong. You could look at the weekly here. Here's a cup with handle pattern. It broke out, still looking good. You could see it better on the weekly here. This formation, breakout, boom, moving higher. Yeah, I like stocks like that. They're showing strength. And these are the ones that I want to buy. Here's Alcoa, big stock here, breaks out here, pulls back to its 50, and then just continues to rip higher. Got a little break last week. It almost pulled back to its 50, respected that area, and formed this little bull wedge here. I think that's a buy when they come back like that. Tech, this one's formed an ascending base. This one's a leader. It's just grinding higher. Here's your breakout here from the 29 area, and then it just keeps grinding higher along with its moving averages. That one's a buy as well. Anyway, let's get to the steel stocks. Here's a new core. Yeah, don't buy breakouts, right? Yeah, that's not working. This one's straight up. The other one that I like is STLD. Here's your breakout. If you missed it, oh well, buy it here when it comes to the 21 and it rips higher. Buy it when it comes back to this 21. Now it's extended a little bit, so you got to wait. But that's where you want to buy it, when they find support at the moving averages. Another one that I like in steel is United States Steel Corporation. Big liquid leader here. This one broke out, just ripping higher. Finally pulled back to its 21 where it found support and went higher. So those are buy points when they come back to those areas. Another area that's showing strength is the fertilizers. Here's that's not Tootsie Roll, but Tootsie Roll does look good. Boy, I like to look at that chart. Here's NTR, breakout, huge breakout, pulls back to the 21, finds support, and just rips higher. So those are the only chance you get to buy these things once you miss the breakout. Here's Moss. I actually own this thing, sold it when it went up to this 64 spike. I thought, oh my God, that's the end. Look at that vertical action. But all I did was pull back to its 21, find support, and continue ripping higher. So like I say, you got to buy these things at support. LXU, this one has actually been my best stock right here, is because of the percentage-wise, the dollar amount. Here's your breakout right here, rips higher, comes back to the 21 barely, comes back to the 21 barely, and that's when you can buy them. So there's the fertilizer stocks, the coal stocks. AMR is my favorite here. This one broke out, pull back, give you one last chance to get in, then see you later. Then there's this little flagging area, and then now it's ripping higher again. If you got it at the 137, you know, that's a good buy in my opinion. Arch, this one broke out as well, pulled back and continued higher. This one, I really like this one right here, 163, 164. This one on Friday, market was in the tank. This one's still showing strength. So these are the ones you got to buy. You know, people say, oh, the market stinks, market stinks. No, it doesn't. If you follow the index, yes, it does. If you follow these leading stocks, you're doing great. Here's another one in the coal area. This breakout here, massive breakout to 27, pulled back to the 21. Where have we heard that before? Went higher, pulled back to the 21. Now it ripped higher, and it's a little extended here. I want to see how far above that 10 EMA it is. Yeah, 16. So you got to let it come back in a little bit. And the drug stocks and the medical, these are the ones that I like too. Here's Vertex. Look at this breakout and rip. Yeah, you can't buy breakouts, right? Yeah, bullpucky. Buy those breakouts, folks. They work. It's not the only way to buy stocks, but they've been working. And here's an old one that I tease little Mike Webster about, because it's been in a 22-year base here. So this is a big, long base since 1999. And finally, this thing broke out above this level. That is a long base, folks. That is a long base. So I'm going to keep my eye on this one. It was up 6% last week. That's a lot for a stock like Bristol Myers. So I'm talking about all these breakouts, and you missed them. You got to buy back on the 21. Well, what's a stock that we can buy? Well, I like Novo Nordisk. This is a diabetes play. Of course, we know more people, they're getting older and getting more diabetes because of our diet. So this one I like. And if you've owned it, like I have for a long, long time, it's just lower left to upper right. bought the financial advisor told me to buy this thing back in like 99 during the go-go times. And this thing has just been a monster stock. I love this stock. Just real quiet, doesn't do much, never in the news, but a winner nonetheless. And here's Edwards Life Sciences. Here's the daily. I think this one's setting up nice here. It's pulling back to its 10 EMA, volume's drying up. So keep your eye on Edwards Life Sciences. That's all I have for the week. Like I say, ignore the indexes, buy leading stocks, follow leading stocks. Leading stocks will tell you how the market's doing. It's nice to have the tailwinds of a roaring Nasdaq or a roaring S&P or a roaring Dow Jones. But if you don't have that, you've got to go with the leading stocks. And if you're buying those 6 sectors that I showed, you're doing very well in 2022. Anyway, we never give up.